Broadcom Corporation is an American fabless semiconductor company in the wireless and broadband communication business. The company is headquartered in Irvine, California. Broadcom was founded by a professor-student pair, Henry Samueli and Henry T. Nicholas III, from the University of California, Los Angeles in 1991. In 1995, the company moved from its Westwood, Los Angeles, office to Irvine, California. In 1998, Broadcom became a public company on the NASDAQ exchange and now employs approximately 11,750 people worldwide in more than 15 countries. Broadcom is among Gartner's top 10 semiconductor vendors by revenue. In 2012, Broadcom's total revenue was $8.01 billion. In 2013, Broadcom was number 327 on the Fortune 500. Climbing 17 places from its 2012 ranking of number 344. Broadcom first landed on the Fortune 500 in 2009. The Broadcom logo was designed by Eliot Hochberg, based on the logo for the company's previous name, Broadband Telecom. The Broadband Telecom logo was designed by co-founder Henry Nicholas, then wife Stacey Nicholas, who was inspired by the mathematical sinc function. Products. Broadcom's product line spans computer and telecommunication networking. The company has products for enterprise metropolitan high-speed networks, as well as products for SOHO networks. Products include transceiver and processor ICs for Ethernet and wireless LANs, cable modems, digital subscriber line, servers, home networking devices and cellular phones. It is also known for a series of high-speed encryption coprocessors, offloading this processor-intensive work to a dedicated chip, thus greatly speeding up tasks that utilize encryption. This has many practical benefits for e-commerce, and PGP or GPG secure communications. The company also produces ICs for carrier access equipment, audio-video processors for digital set-top boxes and digital video recorders, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi transceivers, and RF receivers tuners for satellite TV. Major customers include Apple, Hewlett-Packard, Motorola, IBM, Dell, Lenovo, Linksys, Logitech, Nintendo, Nokia, Siemens Networks, Nortel, Avaya, TiVo, Tenda, and Cisco Systems. In September 2011, Broadcom shut down its digital TV operations. Broadcom also shut down its Blu-ray chip business. The closure of these businesses began on September 19, 2011. On June 2, 2014, Broadcom announced intentions to exit the cellular baseband business. NICs and networking vendors have included Broadcom NICs in their products. For example, the Dell Blade Server M610 has two embedded gigabit NetStream 5709 NICs. Trident Plus ASIC. Another large market is hardware for switches. Some vendors offer switching equipment based on Broadcom hardware and firmware, while other well-known vendors do use the Broadcom hardware but write their own firmware. The latest Broadcom Trident Plus ASIC is used in many high-speed 10 GB plus switches from the largest switch vendors such as Cisco Nexus switches running NXOS, Dell Force 10 running FTOS DNOS, all Arista 7050 series switches, the IBM BNT8264, and Juniper QFX 3500. The latest member of the Trident family is the Trident 2XGS, which can support up to 32x40G ports or 104x10G ports on a single chip. Examples of switches using this Trident 2XGS chip are the Dell Networking S6000, Cisco Nexus 9000 and some smaller vendors like EdgeCore American Samoa, 6700, Penguin Arctica 3200XL or Quantum-Mesh T5032, Graphics Processing Unit. Video Core is the GPU found on some systems on a chips by Broadcom, the most widely known one being the BRCM 2835 containing Video Core 4 found in the Raspberry Pi. Video Acceleration, Broadcom Crystal HD does video acceleration. Consumer design components, Broadcom also provides components for a number of high-profile consumer devices, Broadcom supplies the Wi-Fi Plus Bluetooth combo chip for Apple iPhone 3GS and later generations and corresponding iPod Touch generations. In Q2 2005, Broadcom Corporation announced it would be providing Nintendo its OE online solution on a chip. Euro was deployed in millions of notebooks and PDAs across the globe, enabling Nintendo 802.11b connectivity with DS and 802.11g for the Wii. More specifically, Broadcom would provide Bluetooth connectivity for Wii's controller. In 2012, Broadcom started producing systems on the chips, and first system on chip which produced by Broadcom is BRCM28155, which used in Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus and Samsung Galaxy Grand. In 2013, Broadcom unveiled the first 802.11ac 5G Wi-Fi SoCs, which is adopted across many mobile phones including the Samsung Galaxy S4 and S5, the HTC One, and the LG Nexus 5. Additionally, routers from Motorola, Netgear, Huawei and Belkin also include Broadcom's 802.11ac chips. Notable employees: Henry Samueli, Gottfried Ungebock, inventor of trellis-coded modulation; Henry T. Nicholas III, Sophie Wilson, designer of the ARM's CPU instruction set; Larry Wall, creator of the Perl programming language; Eben Upton, creator of the Raspberry Pi single-board computer. Broadcom and Linux. Some free and open-source drivers are available and included in the Linux kernel source tree for the 802.11 BRN family of wireless chips Broadcom produces. Since the release of the 2.6.26 kernel, some Broadcom chips have kernel support but require external firmware to be built. In 2003, the Free Software Foundation accused Broadcom of not complying with the GNU General Public License as Broadcom distributed GPL code in a driver for its 802.11g router chipset without making that code public. The chipset was adopted by Linksys, which was later purchased by Cisco. Cisco eventually published source code for the firmware for its WAT54G wireless broadband router under the GPL license. In 2012, the Linux Foundation listed Broadcom as one of the top 10 companies contributing to the development of the Linux kernel for 2011, placing it in the top 5% of an estimated 226 contributing companies. The Foundation's Linux kernel development report also noted that, during the course of the year, Broadcom submitted 2,916 changes to the kernel. In October, Broadcom's commitment to the free software community was underlined when the previously proprietary parts of the Raspberry Pi userland were released under a BSD-style license, making it the first ARM-based multimedia SoC with fully functional, vendor-provided fully open-source drivers, although this claim has not been universally accepted. Broadcom provided a Linux driver for their Broadcom Crystal HD, and they also hired Eric Onholt, a former Intel employee, to work on a free and open-source graphics device driver for their Video Core 4. Manufacturing: Broadcom is known as a fabless company. It outsources all semiconductor manufacturing to Asian merchant foundries, such as Global Foundries, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, Silterra, TSMC, and United Microelectronics Corporation. The company is based in Irvine, California, in the University Research Park on the University of California, Irvine campus, after a 2007 move from its previous campus near the Irvine Spectrum. It has many other research and development sites including Silicon Fen, Cambridge, Bangalore and Hyderabad in India, Richmond and Markham in Canada, and Sophia Antipolis in France. Stock options scandal: on July 14, 2006, Broadcom announced it had to subtract $750 million from earnings due to stock options irregularities. On September 8, 2006, the amount was doubled to $1.5 billion. The company may also owe additional taxes. On January 24, 2007, it announced a restatement of its financial results from 1998 to 2005 that totaled $2.22 billion. On May 15, 2008, Broadcom's CTO Samueli resigned as chairman of the board and took over leave of absence as chief technology officer after being named in a civil complaint by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. On June 5, 2008, Broadcom co-founder and former CEO Henry Nicholas and former CFO William Ruill were indicted on charges of illegal stock option backdating. Nicholas was also indicted for violations of federal narcotics laws. However, in December 2009, federal judge Cormac J. Carney threw out the options backdating charges against Nicholas and Ruill after finding that federal prosecutors improperly tried to prevent 3 defense witnesses from testifying. Qualcomm litigation and settlement. On April 26, 2009, Broadcom settled 4 years of legal battles over wireless and other patents with Qualcomm Incorporated, another fabless semiconductor company headquartered in San Diego, California. The deal ended the patent litigation as well as complaints of anti-competitive behavior before trade commissions in the United States, Europe, and South Korea. As part of the settlement, Qualcomm paid $891 million in cash to Broadcom over a 4-year period ending June 2013. In June 2007, the U.S. International Trade Commission blocked the import of new cell phone models based on particular Qualcomm microchips. They found that these Qualcomm microchips infringe patents owned by Broadcom. BroadVoice. Broadcom authored its own VoIP codecs in 2002, and released them as open source with LGPL license in 2009, BroadVoice 16 with declared bit rate 16 kbits and audio sampling frequency 8 kHz, BroadVoice 32 with declared bit rate 32 kbits and sampling rate of 16 kHz. Acquisitions. In September 2011, Broadcom bought NetLogic Microsystems for a $3.7 billion deal in cash, excluding around $450 million of NetLogic employee shareholdings, which will transfer to Broadcom. Besides the NetLogic Microsystems acquisition, through the years, Broadcom has acquired many smaller companies to quickly enter new markets. See also, references. External links. Broadcom homepage, Broadcom SEC filings, 20th Century History of Broadcom Corporation, Broadcom analysis on WikiInvest.